Dear students, ecology is very important aspect. Ecology is study of our surrounding environment. The study that deals with the biotic and abiotic factors associated with our surrounding is known as ecology. It is also called as, sometimes it is also called as environmental science. Ecology is also called as environmental science. So when we speak of biotic and abiotic factors, biotic factors are all living beings. Living beings can be plants, animals, microorganisms. So we can commonly call it as plants, animals, and microorganisms. So these are biotic factors. Now abiotic factors are non-living things. Abiotic factors. There are many abiotic factors: light, temperature, water, nutrients, pH, rainfall, humidity, moisture, so many things, soil, all these are abiotic factors. Let us study some of the abiotic factors. First of all, I'll take temperature. Temperature is one of the very important abiotic factor that decides the distribution of living organisms. Now, one or two examples. You will not find a single mango tree in Canada or Germany. You will not find it. It's common in India. Why not in Germany and Canada? Because the temperature required by the mango tree for the growth of the mango tree is not available in Germany and Canada, whereas it is available in India. That's why. So this is one example how temperature plays very important role. You can take one more example. You will not find polar bear in the forest of Kerala because they cannot exist in this condition. So this is what we call the importance of temperature. Now, there are some organisms which can tolerate wide range of temperature, and such organisms are called as euthermal organism. Euthermal organism. The organism which can tolerate wide range of temperature. If temperature is less, they can survive. If temperature is more, they can survive. That means they can tolerate wide range of temperature. We call them as euthermal organism. Now, another groups of organisms are there which cannot tolerate wide range of temperature. They are restricted to very narrow range of temperature, and we call them as stenothermal organisms. So as per their convenience, they survive in that particular temperature. So the overall thing is that temperature is very important aspect in the distribution of living organisms. Let us move on to water now. Again, you know that we cannot imagine life without water. Water is very important aspect in the distribution of living organism. No water, no plants, and if no plants, no animals can exist or survive. And whenever we speak of water, it is the quality of water rather than quantity of water. Of course, enough amount of water is required, but the quality of water, or we call qualitative analysis, the content of the water, like pH of the water, turbidity of the water, Dissolved oxygen in the water we call DO. Nutrients present in the water, and moreover salinity of the water. What is salinity of water? Salt content of the water is called as salinity. Salt content of the water is called as salinity. Now, saline water or the water which is rich with salinity means sea water, or we call marine water. Sea water or marine water. The salt contains or presence of salt in the water, generally NaCl, it is sodium chloride. It is measured in terms of ppt. It is measured in terms of ppt. What do you mean by ppt? Parts per thousand. And salinity of sea water is about 35 ppt. About 35 ppt. If you consider any freshwater form like lake, river, pond, it doesn't mean that that water does not contain salt. Salt content is there, but very, very less. How much it is? It is less than 5 ppt. So salt content less than 5 ppt is considered as fresh water. Now again same thing. There are some organisms which can live in saline condition, in marine condition. There are many fishes which live in sea water. If you bring those fishes and put them in river water, they die because they cannot tolerate that low saline condition, low salinity condition. So again, now depend on that, aquatic organisms can be classified into euryhaline and stenohaline. Euryhaline and stenohaline. Euryhaline organisms are the organisms which can tolerate wide range of salinity. Stenohaline organisms are the organisms which cannot tolerate wide range of salinity. They are restricted to very narrow range of salinity. For example, shark. The shark which lives in marine water, it will not enter into river, it dies. Similarly, the katla fish which we see in river water, if it enters into ocean, it dies. That means they belong to stenohaline group of organisms. Now there are some fishes which live in estuary. Estuary is the place where river and sea meets, and this is the place that means in estuarine condition there is wide range of fluctuation in saline condition. In monsoon season, the salinity goes up to 0 ppt, 1 ppt, 2, that is less than 5 ppt. And during summer, it goes above 30 ppt. Means the fishes living there, they have the ability to adjust with any kind of salinity. So, thus those group of fishes or aquatic organisms are called as euryhaline. Thus, this temperature, water, these all play very important role in the distribution of living organisms.